Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dawn Huffey. I'm the owner of Liberty Belle Coaching, and my life coaching certifications came through the Brave Thinking Institute. Today is part 2 of the Optimist Creed. I'm going to share 4 more promises with you out of the book, The Optimist Creed. And it is written by Christian D. Larson. I'm also going to share some insights from Mary Morrissey, my coach. Each weekday, I do 2 morning mentors. They're just short videos, several minutes, and she gives us encouragement and information and just reiterates all of her brave thinking concepts. Now, she did talk about choosing optimism. And she said, choosing optimism is to see what is missing, but to see also that there is much to be grateful for. So we have 2 sides of this, to see what's missing and to see what to be grateful for. We don't want to dwell on what's missing. We don't want to get stuck there and feel sorry for ourselves. No, we just want to notice what we're noticing. Brave thinking tool number 1. And then how do we get what we want that we see is missing? She also shares certain nuggets, like certain important concepts. And the first one is this: you can be so busy looking for the good that you forget to notice what you could do to improve conditions, situations, and relationships. There are certain people who are like this. They're so really doing such a good job with their optimism and their positiveness that they gloss over or just cover over the things that need attention for themselves, things that need to be improved. The other side of that is this, and you can be so busy looking at what is missing in your life and what's wrong that you miss the good there is to be grateful for. I was in that state for quite a long time. All I could see was what was wrong. I had so many things to be grateful for. And I had friends in my Bible study saying, Dawn, look, you have this to be grateful for. And Dawn, what about this? And I would just be like, yeah, but, and I was so immersed and so stuck in what I didn't have and what I was unhappy with that I couldn't see the good. It was a really tough time. Of course, it's tough because your state of mind is in for me all the time. Dr. Robert Mueller, a chosen optimist, said once, often people are so optimistic they can't even see a condition that needs to get fixed. And a pessimist can be so full of fear about what looks missing that they miss what is full. Yes, so it's just kind of a summary of what Mary was saying. We have to really get our attention on what we can be grateful for each day. When I remember, and I mostly remember every day, I write a gratitude list that gets my mind shifted in the optimistic way. Okay, what can I be grateful for? At the same time, I also say a prayer. Jesus, help me to be more like you. God, help me to be more like you. Show me what needs to be corrected. Show me what needs to be improved in my thoughts, in my actions, in my words. Okay, so let's move on to the next 4 promises in the Optimist Creed. I'm going to ask you to choose a number between 5 and 8. Just let your intuition pick a number. Okay, and just write that down because that's the promise that you can focus on for the coming week. So number 5, I promise to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. Woo, okay. To think about it, to work. And expectation is such an important part of attitude. Be in a state of expectation that your dreams and desires and prayers will come to be. Gonna think of the best, work for the best, which means your actions need to be in alignment with your best self. Oftentimes, our not so best self shows up, and we just want to notice that and correct. Okay, promise number 6. I promise to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. Okay, so this is where we notice jealousy. Because if we're being jealous of others' successes, other people's stuff, we are in a very low vibrating emotional state, and we're not happy for them. I came across this just a few days ago. I was working with one of my clients, and I came upon this handout that I have. I want to share with you because it talks about jealousy in here. Now, the title of this is Your Emotions Are Your Teachers. So it lists out 7 emotions here. So we'll just walk through them. Resentment shows you where you lack boundaries. So if you're resentful at someone, this means that you're not standing firm for your boundaries. You're allowing them to treat you in ways that are not respectful, they don't value you, and you're not either having boundaries or following through on your boundaries. Okay, here we go to jealousy. Jealousy shows you what you most desire. So when you feel that jealousy come up about another person, flip it around and say, oh my, okay, I must be desiring what she has. And how do I achieve that? Instead of being all mad and fussed up about what they have and you don't, get to work on how you can achieve it. The third one is shame. Shame teaches you what parts of you need acceptance. Somewhere along the way, someone may have shamed you, and so you don't feel like you're good enough. You don't feel like you're acceptable. Yes. Fear shows you your biggest opportunities for growth. Just beyond the fear is where you find your growth. In the Brave Thinking Institute, we talk about fear, and we talk about befriending your fear. Fear is going to rise up when we do something new. And so we want to say, okay, fear, I see you, but I'm still going for this thing. Anxiety teaches you where you need to ground into the present. And why is that? It's because when you're feeling anxious, you're more than likely thinking about things in the future and fretting and fussing about them. So you need to just say, okay, wait a second, that's not happening now. What's happening right now? Right now, I'm safe. Right now, I have money for today. Right now, just fill in the blank. Ground yourself into the present. Remind yourself of the truth of the present. Anger teaches you where you want justice. So when you get angry, know that someone's probably violating a rule or a law. I have an example of this. There is a woman in the neighborhood who lets her dog outside. And oh, does that make me mad? I do not like barking dogs. They disrupt my peace. And so I've had to call the police because we do have a no barking ordinance in this town. And so my anger teaches me, look, I want some justice here. I want her to follow the rules, just like everybody else has to follow the rules. So that's how you take action on gaining the justice that you deserve. Sadness teaches you how to let go. We just have to let go that certain truths have happened. We can't change stuff that makes us sad. We just have to go into this acceptance, because when you're in sadness and grief, there are stages to the grief. And so acceptance is the final step. So every emotional state exists for a very specific purpose, but when you avoid feeling, you also avoid healing. So when you shut down and won't allow yourself to feel the feelings, you also don't heal. So lastly, let your emotions guide you to a deeper understanding of your inner truth. There's one more thing I want to say about emotions being your teacher. They can be your teacher for your present time. Now, when your emotions get triggered off and you have an intense reaction to some small little event, this means that your emotions that are trapped inside of you are giving you a clue. I want to be healed. I need some attention. I've been in here trapped for so long. That part of you that got wounded has been trapped for so long. They're calling for help to be healed. And that's why I love the compassion key technique so much, because I help clients heal those wounded parts of them. So if you have your emotions being so heightened and so out of control, just send me a message, and I do offer one free compassion key session so you can see how effective and quick this modality works. Okay, so that was all about number 6. Just be enthusiastic about the success of others. Okay, number 7. I promise to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. If we are stuck in regret, about our mistakes and our actions and our words, we are going to miss the goodness in the moment, and we're not going to be able to plan for the future. We are just stuck in all of that awfulness, and you don't have to be. So, promise to forget the mistakes of the past. God doesn't remember your mistakes from the past. When you ask him for forgiveness, he grants it, and he doesn't remember it anymore. And that's the model for us. We are to forget the mistakes of the past. And the last promise, I promise to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature you meet a smile. This is so great. This past month, I was driving in the city, and there was a car alongside me, and I was back a little bit. I was maybe about this far back, but there was a dog sitting in the passenger side. And I have learned this concept of smiling at people, smiling at men, smiling at animals, whoever's out there, just smile at them. And this is the last promise. So the dog just had an intuition of looking or noticing, and he looked at me, and I smiled and I waved at the dog. And so we're sitting at the stoplight, and the dog looks away, and then the dog kept looking back at me. It was so great. It was such a connection. It was so much fun. So we can do this in person with people, smile at them. When you're walking by someone, smile at them. It's connecting with them. It might start up a conversation. So the final promise, I promise to wear a cheerful countenance at all times and give every living creature I meet a smile. So take an action step now. Write out the promise that your intuitive number came up as, and read it every day. Focus on that for the next week. Okay, I think that's everything for today about optimism. It's a choice. You can choose to be pessimistic and negative and just down in the doldrums, or you can choose to be happy and joyful and good and gentle and kind. It's a choice. We decide. We have the power. Yes, we do. Okay, I think that's everything for today. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.